to the Quality of Life podcast. My name is Erin Olson, and I am a businesswoman and mother who has been studying personal growth for over 15 years. I've tried almost all of the habits and hacks out there. My goal is to use my real-life experience to show you which tricks and habits make the biggest changes to your quality of life with the least amount of time and energy on your part. We will cover everything from habits to hacks, fitness to family, and everything in between. Now, let's dive on into today's topic. Hey guys, welcome back to the Quality of Life podcast. I'm your host, Erin Olson. Today, I am going to talk a little bit about if it's worth it. Is it really worth it? But first, I just want to check in on last week's homework about keeping an eye out for issues that you're currently having in this season and issues that might come up, and then writing those down so that as the year goes on, you might be able to find solutions so that you don't have those stressful seasons again. Also, did you go to bed last night and think about what went right? That is so important. Going to sleep with a positive outlook on the day and something that went right can really change the quality of your sleep and how good you feel about every single day. And that is so important because you know what? Business is hard. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to tell you that business is super easy. I'm not going to tell you that you're not going to spend nights alone working like a dog and maybe even crying, because I've done it. And it can be frustrating, it can be stressful, it can be very demanding, but I'm here to tell you guys that it is worth it. So when you start thinking about whether or not you should make this business a thing and put all of your energy into it, I'm going to tell you it is going to take a lot, but it is worth it. I put together a small list of just some pros and cons about owning a business and some things that, maybe you haven't thought of, because everybody knows that starting something is difficult just in and itself. But when you are starting a business to bring to life a service or a product that you know this world needs, that feeling is so good. To know that you are helping others in some way, shape, or form, and that you're not just doing it for a dollar sign. It's not just a job, a J-O-B job. So here's the deal. Here are some of the pros and cons to starting your business. Well, I'm going to start with the bad news first, the cons. When you start a business, you're going to have to work a lot. And sometimes you're going to have to work a lot even after working a full day at a job. And unfortunately, that is probably one of the most important times of your life, right? Because you are starting to realize exactly who you are. You're not just punching a clock and doing what other people say. You are going to have to work a lot. Sometimes at 2 o'clock in the morning, when you are putting together that one little item or a piece of content for your social media, or working on your website, or starting to devise plans on how to get your name out there, it could be 2 o'clock in the morning and you could be all by yourself. But I'm telling you, those times are some of my most favorite memories. Another check on the list of cons that starting your own business would be the stress. You have a responsibility, not only to yourself to actually do something, but you have a responsibility now to your customers. And not to layer on the stress, but when you start to have teams and people that are work under you, the stress of providing for their families as well as your own can start to stack up. Another con is that all of the mistakes that you make affect you directly. It's kind of different from when you are working for somebody else and oops, I screwed up, and you don't have to necessarily take the personal hit, but this business is yours. It is part of you. So every mistake that you made is going to affect you. Another thing is that when you decide to start something new, people are going to judge you for quitting the safe job, for going away from what you trained to do or went to school to do. So you have to know that that is going to come too. Another thing that really sucks about owning a business is paying taxes and accounting. Now you have to learn so many things that have to do with numbers, which I will talk to you about in a future episode of the podcast. But you're going to have to pay taxes, and a lot of them. But you know what, friends? That means that you're making money. So I know it's kind of a necessary evil, but you're going to pay taxes. Another thing that is a drawback to owning its own business is that it is very easy to slack when times are good. I have been guilty of feeling like I can just coast for a little while. And then I realize that my sales aren't quite coming in like they should have. So it's very easy because you just get tired and you want a break. All right, another drawback to having your own business is health insurance and retirement planning. Aren't those some really fun and exciting things to talk about? Well, I hope that I can help ease your mind a little bit in a future episode when I conquer health insurance and retirement planning. But nobody's going to do it for you. You're not going to have paid benefits. You're not going to be able to rely on somebody else supplementing your 401k. It's all on you. And at the very beginning of a business, I know personally how easy it is to put every single dollar that you can into your business and not your 401k. And I also know how expensive health insurance is, and it sucks. Believe me, you guys, I get it. But here's the thing. The pros to owning your own business are so much better than anything that I could say is not worth it. Yes, I know that owning a business is hard. I personally have had 3 businesses that I have run, and I know what it's like to be alone or feel like you're alone and the only person who cares about what you're doing right now. But let me tell you, there are so many benefits to owning your own business. So what are they? Well, first and foremost, the number one reason why people go into business for themselves is because of freedom. Yep, you guessed it. You get to be free to do so many things because honestly, you're the boss. You get to make all the decisions. You can make your own schedule. You can make your own rules and policies. You can set your own standards. And honestly, that freedom is worth its weight in gold, let me tell you. Because when you start to be your own boss, you get to encompass all of the best parts of all of the bosses that you've ever had in your past and make that your new position. So when you have employees, you can be the boss that you always wished you had. You can be the leader that you always wished you had. So the pros just in the freedom is so amazing. Not only that, you can bring your kids to work even when they have sick days. You can bring your pets to work. You can set your own standards. The values of your company are decided by you. If you want to have it be a spiritually based company, you can have it be a spiritually based company. If you want to have it centered around a certain product, you can do it. If you want to bring on an extra product, that is all up to you and your bank account. And the best part about owning your own business is that all of your work benefits you. I remember when I used to bartend, we used to pool our tips, and I hated working with certain people because they never carried their own weight. And so when I worked my butt off, I was financing them because I had to split my tips with them. Well, in this business, everything you do, as hard as you work, it all benefits you. And you get to decide how you're going to share it, if you're going to share it at all. You might be a solopreneur, a person who only works by themselves, and that might be enough for you. Another benefit to having your own business is the ability to pivot and change your mind. When you run your own business and you see another area in the market that maybe needs a little help or a little tweaking, you can address it because it's your business. You can change your mind and you can do something different at the drop of a hat. I wouldn't suggest it, but it is your freedom. Another thing that is a really good benefit to running your own business is the write-offs. Yes, you can write off so many things, and we'll get into that in a totally another episode, but you can write off so many things that benefit you as a business. and as your personal self. So there are some really good write-offs that can benefit both, but don't tell the IRS. Just kidding. You need to tell the IRS. But I am not a lawyer and I am not an accountant, so I'm not going to tell you exactly how to write off all of your expenses. We're going to leave that to the professionals. The bottom line is, guys, business is hard. You are going to spend a lot of energy, a lot of time, and a lot of money making this thing serve you. And I will tell you that I don't know if I could go back to just working a 9-to-5 again. I mean, I would do it if I had to, but I don't know if I would give up this freedom that I have for anything, really. Owning a business is one of the most rewarding things that I have ever done. Not only has it helped me personally, it's helped my family. It has shown my kid that owning a business is worth it and that you can do anything you want to do as long as you put in the work. So guys, as much as there are so many more cons and so many more pros that I even got to in this episode, I just want to let you know, yes, it's worth it. It's worth it for you to keep going. And I hope you do. If there is any parts of this business that you need help with, let me know. Shoot me a DM on Instagram or Facebook and let me know what you need help with. Chances are I've had that experience and I might know a way out of it. So guys, I am here today to tell you I'm rooting for you because business ownership is one of the best things in this world and you can help so many people. So let's get going, guys. We'll talk to you next week on the Quality of Life podcast. See ya. Thanks for listening to today's episode. Be sure to check us out on the Quality of Life podcast, Facebook and Instagram pages, and our website, theerinolson.com, for downloads and more information. That is THEERINOLSON.com. Stay up to date by joining our email newsletter. Together, we can improve all of our quality of life.